casting is hella stressful today. I've already done a couple of these, got 2 or 3 of these guys done. Let me turn these things around. I do not want to mistakenly show these. But let me turn these boys around. Put your noses in the corner now. You can't be seen. Okay. What I'm trying to do is I've already cast a couple of these things. And I am so desperately trying to get the coloration to this right. This is the Vengeance mold, and what I'm trying to do is color the resin prior to molding it. That way I don't have to do so much painting. I have a base layer of gray. This is the one that I'm making for Jason Brooks. Talked to him last night. I actually wanted to just send him one of the 2 that I've got made already. Got a 3rd one back here I'm painting up that I cast earlier. And the thing is, I've got this so strong pigment stuff. Let me show you. See, this is the stuff you're supposed to be able to add to the resin. So strong, right? I put a couple of drops of that in the resin mix, and it comes out black, like Batman black. So, what I'm trying to do is match the color of the movie by doing it in a gray color. And I've got to layer this thing. I've already got 2 layers in here already. And I'm just trying to make this adequately match. So I'm putting about 8 ounces in here. I'm going to put probably about, let's see what this is. That comes to 4 ounces. Yeah, it's about 4 ounces. And I'll show you what I'm doing. This is going to be the 3rd coat. I'm having to take my Wicked Colors Smoke Black. It's my airbrush color. And I just dab a little bit in there. Just a little few drops. And the reason I do that is so it will color up. Because this is a translucent resin, meaning that it's see-through. So I really don't want to get this thing like black. I just want it to be gray. And the thing is, it comes up with a gray, like a smoky charcoal color. And I'm afraid that if I put more layers in there at the same time that I'm doing the same coloring, it's going to come out darker. And that will become a problem. So, yep, I got 8 ounces right there, just perfectly measured. Make sure that's stirred out. Put that up just a blah. Shut. Alright, now I got the mold here. I'm just going to pour this on the inside of the mold, on the lip. Because I want it to go down all over it. Now the problem is, in some of these things, when I've got this stuff coming out, it tends to show more blue from the mold in it than it's supposed to. And there's a whole lot of this getting stuck in the process of getting casted in the head. So it's got a really thick back of the head, front of the head thing. And like I said, this being opaque and translucent, it's hard. So it's not going to, and I've got it all covered. It's not going to not set up. It's just, problem is I'm worried about the coloration being too dark. And I can show you the back of the shoe that I've done. I'm not going to show you the face. I'll pull you guys up here and show you this real quick. Okay. These two I've already got done. Now this one is the rotted flesh green brown colored one that I did as a test paint up. Scareware Dead Ted, that's not mine. I didn't make that, I bought that. This is one that is the foam filled gray version from the movie. I like the coloration on that, but like I said, there's seam lines that didn't come out in the original mold that were defective. So that didn't come out so well. And so what I'm trying to do, and this one is the same way. It's not really the same way. I got the mold seam line done where it didn't come up defective, but I just did a different color on this one. So I've got those two. Then I've got two in the other side over there that I'm trying, and then I've got this one, which, as you can see, translucency. It's kind of a gray black color, and seeing that the mold is actually blue, when you see the coloring, there is no blue showing, so I know I've got it pretty much done. And then here is part of the lip here, and you can see how thick that is. And it's got kind of like a gray coloration there, which is good. And it's durable in the fact that this is hard impact resistant resin. So the only thing I want to do is I don't want to foam fill this and ruin it. I want to make it like the Dead Ted over there from Scareware, where they did like 4 pours and slushed them and rolled them around. So I'll have to do one more pour right around here to thicken this up and probably put some polyfiber in there. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is a Jimmy Rig setup. Of course, I got the Ultra Cal plaster bandage mold with the seam. Now, the last one I did, the seam wasn't quite tucked in all the way on it, so it didn't come out. It came out kind of crooked. So what I'm going to do right now, put you guys back over here, lay this down, mix up one more batch of gray resin here, lay this down like so, because it's already set up, it's not going anywhere, and all I got to do is just brush in another coat right there, and it hardens up, sets up pretty quick. So yay, I can use the same cup, pull this stuff out. But see, it's opaque. You can actually see through it, even when I've added coloring to it. See, it's opaque and translucent. And that was a mistake, because when I bought this from Specialty Resins, I did not specify whether I wanted the Pro White or the translucent, and I think it was set on translucent by default. So I even cast one of the Godzillas by mistake in translucent, but I actually managed to mix some of the Pro White with it, but it came out looking like it was defective because you could see through it, which it wasn't. I ended up paying that up. Alan McNeil, the guy that just made the comment, he's the one that got that Godzilla that I did translucent with. He's the guy in the UK that I painted that up, and he got it, and he was very happy with it. So, you know, the paint jobs do come out good on these, but I'm in process of trying to color the resin so I don't have to put so much paint on it. And it's a technique that I learned from Steve at Scareware. He showed me in a video how to do it. So I just want to make sure I can kind of follow in this kind of experimental thing as well. So, you know, I'm just trying to follow his example of how to do it. And it being hot out here in the shop, it's proving a lot harder. If it was wintertime, I'd probably have an easier time with this. But, and I'm not even mixing any coloring with this, because this is just a bonding strength coat. So if it's translucent, it's not going to show up underneath it anyway. I'll just stir this, mix it up, put my stir stick up here, pull this up, I'll pour a puddle in here, and I want to roll it. Pour a puddle in, and roll this thing. I don't need any more to go on the back side, because the back side is covered. The inside, the head, and the back of the neck and all that, they're already covered. What I'm trying to do is roll to the neck and the sides and strengthen the lower portion first. Make sure that gets all good and strong and strengthened, because if it doesn't, then you're going to have a piece that if I ship it, even though it's tough and durable, it will crack, break off. And I think Jason Brooks is too good of a guy to get a foam-filled one. He deserves to get a Scareware resin type mold. And that's really what I'm trying for here. That's why I said this has been super stressful, because hit it with a hammer. Dude, I'm fine. I can get this to pop out. I'm not trying to take it out. I'm trying to strengthen the lower quadrant. I haven't added any filler or anything to it. I'm just trying to lower make sure that it's not too dense on the heavy on the inside. So, if Jason Brooks shows this thing to you guys inadvertently in his next video, hopefully, it will, it'll be an honor. He's already seen what I've done with the other two and the clay molding and all that. And I've done a video of that as well, because there are going to be those out here who are going to say, oh, you didn't make that, you didn't do that. And it's like, sorry, I have video proof and everything. That's why I do these things, to document the fact that, yes, I do create shit. I also take retired pieces like Bob Primus's Victor Crowley, the old MMFX mold, which I bought from somebody, and put them back in production in various ways, and I'm working on doing a resin thing for that too. But as you can see, that's all the resin I've got left. And this stuff is not inexpensive, trust me. About $150 or close to $200 worth of resin. And I don't want to run down to Reynolds Supply every week and get it, because people are, oh my God, I'm sweating like a hog in here. Because people are window shopping or kicking tires and saying, oh, you know, think about it, I need money and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I understand, but what I don't get is Obama's not president anymore, and the economy is booming. So something's going on, whether people are having more money now than they've had before, and they're just being really conservatively careful with it, which is okay. That's fine. But, you know, if you have something you like and something you want to do, oh, we got the kid coming in. So if you have something you like and something you want to do, you see something, don't hesitate to let me know that you want it. I've said before, and I'll say again, I have payment plans. Okay, here's to show you guys this resin. Still warm in my hands. It's still pliable. But see how see-through it is? It's translucent. I like translucent resin, but it's not quite what I want for this particular piece. When I do the Rambo, Last Blood, which I've already got over there sculpting on it, and trying to get it finalized, the hair pieces are really what's difficult on that one. I bought some flesh tone for that, and I want to do that, as well as, if I never get international copyrights for Schwarzenegger up there, I'll pull that out, probably do some of those. So I really want to do different characters, and nobody's really doing that with him, so and I really need to clean this back wall up, because I've got all these molds, all these forms, and everything is just bothering me because I don't have anywhere to put them. And I've got stuff that can go in the house, but as soon as I want to do that, my wife starts hollering at me about, oh, you're not bringing that in the house. You're not bringing that in. Okay, and I'll put my hand down in here, and this is pretty thick. It's pretty set up. I think I may, yep, pull it away a little bit. Looks like it's kind of thick, yep. Got a good thick lip on it. I might do one more frontal slush mold. I don't know. I think I might do one more. One more just for the lip. Because this is kind of thick. I just don't want it to be too thick. Because the thicker it is, the heavier it gets. So I'm going to set that right there. Oh my God, I'm sweating like a pig in here. Let's mix up another small batch here. And just get to hit this front lip again. God, I'm just drenched in sweat. I am just shiny as fuck. I should have a damn bald head now. But, whew, God almighty. Kids in there finishing what I should be doing, but we replaced the back window on the back of the house yesterday. And I always get the resin off my stick so I don't contaminate it with anything. And it's still coming out gray colored, even though there's no coloring added to it. It's still being mixed. It's translucent black. Uh-oh, mold's coming apart. Hold it right there. Pour some in. Slide it around. Oh, fuck. This front part's really what I need to get all thickened up with. There we go. Pour some more in there. Roll it around. Get some over here on the back. Pull this up on the table a little bit. Very hard to do with one hand. That's why I'm usually glad to have an assistant helping me, but I really can't get Adam Rich up here in 5 minutes to help me. Now this shit's setting up in the cup again. Pouring out because, yet again, waiting too long. I didn't have a brush on hand. Can't brush it out, but I'll just let that sit there on its side. This stuff is 180 seconds, so it sets up pretty fast. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Set it down. I can actually pull the mold off out of the form. Just wonder where it's sticking. Where is it sticking? What is sticking? I probably got a leak in here somewhere. Or it has expanded so well that it's not coming out of the seams. Here's another problem. I've got these lock seams here, and I've got 2 on the back. And I think, there we go. What's happened is it doesn't want to come off the seams, because I've locked them in there. So, let's reach in here, pull it out, pop it down the floor. Now this is already hardened and set up. Now see, with this thick seam on the back, so the resin doesn't leak through. It won't come through and get on the mold, and then I've got these 2 like here. So this will not be a leaky mold. However, I will show you guys what it's going to look like. Alright, now, you see this? I can take it out of the mold now because it's still soft and pliable. Whole thing is it's translucent. So now, I've come out with a perfectly molded piece . And trust me, the sleeve is thick as shit. So see, it's still warm, but I've come out with a perfectly molded piece. I cannot show you the face. But here's what you can do in the meantime. When you have little flanges of resin that stick up, you can pull them off before they get hard. And in doing that, you see, it's like a little seam thing that goes up there. That didn't happen on the last one. It's soft enough where you can take it and pull it off. And I like to do that because then I don't have to Dremel it down. And if I Dremel it down, it's going to be hard to do. I could take a pair of scissors and cut them too. makes it easier to do it when it's soft and pliable rather than when it's hard and firm. And then I can come up with a perfect mold where I don't have any issues of seam lines or anything. That's a lot like mass molding. When you make latex mass and you have a two-piece mold, you will get a seam line that will show up in the mold, and it could be hard to do it, Dremel it out, cut it down, because you don't know how thick or thin your latex is. So this is a small process, and I'll probably take this over there and Dremel this down smooth where there are no issues. Like I said, I like to do it when it's soft and pliable, because the seal itself is done, but that's the coloration of the latex, and this time I think it did come out fairly well. It's probably not going to be like gray like the movie version, because the movie version is silicone, and it is done up where they are actually allowed to blend and mix colors better. And I really don't want to match that exact color. However, with this, it is as good to gray being colored, and then I can go in where it's kind of translucent, you can see through. I can go back and hit it with like pavement gray or something like that and make it easier. Now see here, down here on the bottom, this peels right off, really easy. Throw that away. And it's easier to do that this way than it is to wait for it to harden, because if you wait for it to harden, you risk the chance of cracking or breaking it. So, if Jason Brooks sees this, don't get mad at me, dude. I didn't show any face. I'm just showing the demolding. No face, no face. So, but I think this copy is about perfect to send to Mr. Brooks. So this is what I was praying for. And y'all see my face. I am just dripping in sweat. Holy crap. Oh my God. Okay. So through perseverance and a lot of prayers, I have come out with about a perfect piece for Mr. Brooks. So you guys are seeing the live demolding of Jason Brooks' Vengeance piece right here. Alright, now I gotta take this thing and go on the other side. I gotta go in the house, wipe my face down. I am done with this. So we shall call this a finished lesson. Oh my God.